What is up, Maximum Football fans out there? And I have quite the treat for you today. We have somebody here that you have not heard in a long time, and we are happy, extremely happy to have him back where he belongs in the SGN Hub family. I'm not going to even introduce him. I'm just going to let him have the floor right now.
What's up, Maximum Football fans? You know who it is. I ain't even got to say my name. I'm glad to be back in the family that is SGN Hub. How's everybody doing? I hope you've all been well.
Yes, sir. We are very glad to have Quasi91 is officially back in the hizzy. I know that's a little corny. Sir. Yeah, I know that's corny talk, but that's what it is. But guess what? Okay. It's all right. But we're going to give you guys a little bit of maximum news, and then we're going to talk about a little bit about why Quasi's been away and why we're extremely happy to have him, honestly, back at the channel, back at the absolute perfect time as we get, actually, look at me crossing over words, as we look to obtain higher, what's the word I'm looking for, Quas?
I would say a higher setting.
There you go.
You know, we're turning up the dial from 10 to 11.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
pushing it farther.
Yes, we're getting ready to turn up the dial. But okay, so I'm going to give you a little bit of the news. As you guys know, I have my side channel, which is Out There Gaming on the Field, whatever title you want to give it. I was supposed to give you guys a long form video. Things popped up. I promise you that will get out shortly, but let me quit blathering. And I've had my chance to have my hands on the game for a little bit. And I can honestly say that at first I was a little bit on the fence with the updates, but after playing, yes, a couple of games of MPL online, the 4 games that I did play were actually enjoyable. Running's a little bit more difficult, which I feel like it should be, because I think Quasi can agree. Anytime that it's 3rd and 15 and somebody chooses a running play, and that is the meta, would you say something's wrong?
I would. That's 100% wrong, because any football knowledge person will say you don't run the ball on 3rd and 15. Maybe 3rd and 8, but that's pushing it even at 3rd and 8. So, yeah, 3rd and 15 has been much.
Yeah, you definitely don't do that. So they fixed that. The quarterback animations, the animations that they have added in, it's actually quite noticeable. It makes passing a little bit smoother. You know, they still have a long way to go for everything that's been promised. I'm sure that you can agree with me, Quasi, like this should never have been a game that was focused on like what I've been calling a lower tier ultimate team.
Yeah, no, quite honestly, that wasn't the game we were talking about and pushed towards and promised for a long time. And somewhere along the way, they kind of lost their path, but it looks like they're course correcting.
Yes, and
finally. So
okay, and I'm going to give you the floor on this. From what you've seen, from like just not being in it, like what are some of the mistakes and what are some of the positives that you've seen that they have been doing with this game since its release into early access back in November?
Well, first and foremost, I gotta give the gameplay team a big shout out for taking all the feedback and taking the criticism to heart and changing some of the things that they need to change. Obviously, you're going to open up the floor to thousands of people that are going to find some broken stuff in anything, even AAA titles. So first and foremost, shout out to the gameplay team for fixing things as they can. And some of the negatives, I gotta say, is open up with. You described it the best as lower tier ultimate team. Yes. Like, why do we have a battle pass?
Yeah.
Why do we have all of these things that a live service game has, which I'm assuming that's what we want this to be eventually. But I would have thought first and foremost you would want the gameplay and the franchise and the dynasties and all those things fixed before you implemented a battle pass system.
Yes.
So.
And like a lot of the things, and I hate to harken back to the things that like me and you talked about, like remember where we talked about era packs and we were talking about different fields, different stadiums, like these are the things that like we talked about going back, almost like 2 years ago?
Easily, yeah. If you go back on the channel, roundabout.
Yeah, and it seemed like it was pretty much that was a slam dunk because that's what people wanted. They wanted that dynasty enriched experience. And if they were going to look at online, it should have been in the setting of a CFM, connected franchise.
Yeah, I don't think anybody, I don't think any of us in our wildest dreams ever thought we wanted to play football on an aircraft carrier.
That's true. I mean, it does look cool.
And that's, I mean, it looks cool, right? It does, but that, I mean, that's not something that I, like a football sim guy, would want.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? And that sounds negative, and in a way it kind of is, but it kind of seems like at first they were trying to reach for some pockets instead of doing what they promised at first, which is, you know, it happens sometimes in business.
Yeah.
Suits override passion.
Yes.
And that's just sad.
Yeah. And that's like, I got into that. Like, if you notice, like what a majority of the time that we were primarily covering, they were just Modus games. And remember, Maximum Entertainment wasn't connected to them. And it very much seems like once that they fell underneath the umbrella of Maximum Entertainment, that's when those things changed. Because tell me, you wouldn't be more excited for a, and I'll probably get in trouble for saying this, a classic Redskins stadium, an old RFK stadium, or a field with a baseball field on it, or a class, like, you would want to see that before you saw an aircraft carrier, correct?
Yeah, man, 100%. And the stadiums I would like to see, like you kind of alluded to some in the green room, is the old RFK Stadium for the Redskins. Some of the older college stadiums would be cool to see, like a newer version or the older version of the Rose Bowl. The Coliseum would be cool to see, like in this heyday.
Yes. Yeah, they just need to, it really feels like they just need to get their compass back to, like, not saying that they have to make the game that we want. Yes. We just need them to make the game that they were promising, which was supposed to be the ultimate sandbox, where I can create my own universe. And like I said, guys, there's going to be, like, me and Quasi are going to be back tag teaming on videos, and like sometimes it'll just be me, sometimes it'll be both of us. But segue, as usual, we've always been talking about this college, high school, pro universe that we're building. And that's what we're hoping that Maximum Football is going to be able to facilitate if there's any developers. And I don't know if you give your 2 cents on that, Quasi.
I would love to. We've talked about this for almost 2 years now. And don't get me wrong, and this is going to sound mean, but developers, I promise, is not meant to sound mean. I don't want to have my high school and college football playing in space on the moon or an aircraft carrier. That's cool. Like, that's great. And I'm all for, like, new and innovative stuff for other people that like that kind of thing. But if first you need to deliver what was promised and just a sim football game. And everything else can just be cherries on top.
Yes.
So that's basically it.
Yes.
In a nutshell.
Yes, 100%. Now, this might not be the update that you wanted, but this is the update that you guys needed. But we've been going on for it's about a little bit over 6 minutes. But I promise you guys that now with the what's it called? The prodigal son has returned.
Yeah, I guess I'm the prodigal son, guys. You know what I mean?
Yes. The maximum content and the maximum information that you guys will be getting. There won't be more of it, but it's going to be a lot more in depth. You're going to get 2 sides of it. You're just not always going to be hearing my side of the story. You're going to get to hear from the originator of Maximum Monday. But
I'm glad to be back, guys, and trust me, this isn't going to be the last you hear from me. So we're back.
Yes, you can bet your ass on that. But until next time, it has been Smokin' Jay and
Quality 91,
and we will see you either. I don't know about in the ring because there's not too much undisputed, but we will definitely see you on the field.
Peace, everybody.